what changes we had to make to our daily lives. It's hard to kind of count all of them, just even the little things, from putting up hand sanitizer all around the house, to taking your shoes off, to first and foremost just getting them back from the hospital, learning when you have to bring him in, when you don't have to bring him in, constantly being worried whether or not he's going to fall back into relapse.
When he comes and just hugs me and he just calls me, he's kind of starting to speak a little bit more. He's in speech therapy, and he's starting to speak a little bit more. So when he gets to just come and says me, he calls me mommy. So me, and then he wants to show me something and he calls me, or then he just grabs my face and just gives me a kiss. A couple of days after December 29th, the new year, on 2018, he started just to kind of feel a little bit of pain on his hip, and he didn't want to walk, and he had tummy aches.
I'll never forget that when Dr. Mogul came in and confirmed the diagnosis. I couldn't do anything but I just was in tears. I was scared. I was, for the first time, felt like I couldn't protect him.
He was diagnosed on January 25th, 2018, and within a month he was in remission. And I received the call that they found 0 cells, and I screamed at the nurse's ear, well, probably through the phone, and I was so happy. So it was the best news after a very long month. And with the help of all the medical team and everything, and what we can do here to help to keep him healthy, it's teamwork. And that's pretty much what's been with us. This is teamwork here, it's teamwork at the hospital, and he's super healthy and happy.
Who are you? Frankie.
Please.
I was already going through chemotherapy because I was diagnosed with cancer 4 months prior to her. So to be told that your child also has cancer is devastating.
We get to the ER and it's just doctor after doctor after doctor, ending with pediatric oncology hematology embroidered on the polo shirt, and it was just, the heart just sank. With childhood cancer and the type she had, and what they do to your blood and your white blood count and your ANC, you basically become solitary confinement.
If I was on chemo, I went home with a pump, so I had to sleep by myself, which means him or his mom had to deal with Frankie. And with her being on steroids, she was up several times during the night, hungry, so nobody was getting any sleep.
You don't get to go to camping on solitary confinement. You don't get to go to Disney World on solitary confinement.
Having a toddler, an active toddler, and then not being able to do anything, and she doesn't feel good, but she's also a toddler, so she wants to do everything toddlers do.
We can't take her out, but now we can't take Gabe out. So Gabe's 7 years old. He wants to go do what 7-year-olds want to do, wants to go to the bounce house with his friends, wants to go do these activities, wants to go to these places. And we can't go. We have to tell him no.
You're numb. Your brain doesn't function correctly. You can't. It's hard to go through all of that information that's being dumped at you all at once to see what things are offered to you. So for the longest time, probably the first year, we really didn't tap into any organization that offered help. We kind of just toughed it out ourselves. We just did what we needed to do.
Because of LLS-funded research, you look at 40 years ago, 50 years ago, the survival rate of a child was low, and now when Frankie was diagnosed, they didn't even talk about a death rate. And that was our biggest concern. When you go from you're being told your wife's got a 25% death rate, and then your daughter gets diagnosed, and you're waiting for that ball to drop. You're waiting for them to be like, hey, she's only got a 50% chance. She only has a 70% chance. And then they don't even say that. They say, hey, she only has a 5% chance of it ever coming back. Last week was last chemo. We're done, last chemo. So, from here on out, it's it's moving forward and moving up. You know, we'll get our port out in a week or 2 or a month. There's nothing else, you know, to hold us back, you know.
We're ready for some normal. We're ready to be just normal people.